Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I hope that everybody can hear me. Dear colleagues, friends, and family, I really have to say, friends and family, thank you very much for zooming in with us. For those who don't know me, I'm Hans Gesk. I'm the president of the Visit USA committee, and I really have the honor and the pleasure to host this meeting today together with Christian Meuter, our GM from the Visit USA committee.
Hello, everyone.
This would have been the final evening of IPW Las Vegas, and we would have had a fabulous breakfast already last Sunday and Sunday morning, and now we would prepare now for our last appointment session and then for a fantastic evening in Las Vegas, but it was not to be. The unprecedented pandemic has called world tourism to come to a total standstill. Tourism is the best educator in the world, the best tool to teach people about the variety and beauty of life, culture, and humanity. But it's pausing, and we all cannot wait for the pause to end. At the same time, we all see the terrible reports of the unrest in the United States, and we all sincerely hope that you and your friends and your family are safe. But at the same time, we're very optimistic that reason will prevail and the nation will again be safe, tolerant, and colorful destination that the German travelers love so much. We know that there are better days ahead, and with this meeting, we would like to update you on the situation here in Germany. We would like to have a short view on the past, look at the present, and then have a little glimpse into the future. We also have something very special. We have very, very short videos from tour operators here in Germany that would like to send you a special personal message. And we would like to start with America Unlimited.
Hi there from America Unlimited. We hope to see you again very soon, and we do have great plans for the future.
Like I said in some of the webinars in the past already, we are planning to get more personal and show the people behind the company more with podcasts and online webinars for our end consumers. So we're looking forward to realizing everything with you in the future.
Thank you very much, America Unlimited. And now we have a special guest here also. That's Malcolm Smith. He's not in Washington at the moment. He's in Florida. So he is hiding the background, which is a beach normally, I suppose. And Malcolm will update us on IPW. Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Hans. And thank you for that introduction. It is certainly a difficult time in America right now. And as I look around who's on the call, I see a lot of my colleagues in the US, a lot of us are having different situations within our cities and regions, but you know, the one thing I think we all have to commit to and agree to is that out of tragedy comes opportunity, and we as an industry have adopted a slogan, so many of us over the past few years, and that's everyone is welcome. A lot of states, a lot of cities have adopted that, and that's something I think is more important now than ever. You know, we are, as an industry, we're the stewards of America and the stewards of our local destinations. And we need to be, you know, at the table with our leaders, making sure that that slogan applies to everyone, visitors and local citizens alike. So Hans, I agree with you, to better days ahead. The industry will be a big part of that as we move forward here in the United States to welcome everyone to a brighter US in 2021. So I come to you, you know, Hans gave it away. I'm actually in Florida at the moment, but I'm coming to you under the canopy of the Fremont Street experience, because that's where the closing event would have been tonight, where we would have been with 6,000 of our friends, had it been normal times, having a great closing experience, sharing everything that we had learned about each other in the US and inbound visitation. So we look very forward to being able to do that again next year in Las Vegas in 2021. We were really fortunate to be able to work with Chicago and Las Vegas to make this switch. I was in Vegas last at the end of February, the week right before the week that ITB was supposed to take place. And it was our advisor group meeting, and Las Vegas, CVA, Travel Nevada, Brand USA, they had all were ready to execute this show. They were so far ahead of the planning curve. They could have pulled it off the following week if it was possible. So having to cancel the show was really difficult because they put so much time the past few years preparing for hosting IPW that Chicago had actually approached us and said if they would like to do 21, we would graciously step aside and take the next day you have available and allow Vegas to have their time in the spotlight. So Vegas was really excited to take that opportunity. It ended up being a really win-win situation for everyone. Las Vegas gets to welcome everyone back in 2021. And it's going to be in their brand new West Hall expansion of the convention center. They also have a lot of new attractions that were ready to open up or getting ready to open up in the next year. So really, they were thrilled about that. And on the back end of our IPW schedule, Chicago was able to secure dates in late June for 2025. And for those of you who've been in Chicago in June, especially late June, it is absolutely stunning. So it's going to be a win-win for our destinations, our exhibitors, but most importantly for our international delegates who are coming both for 21 and for 25. So really, really thrilled about that. If you haven't looked at the calendar, you might not have noticed that our pattern is changing for next year. Vegas has done a fantastic job filling up the new convention center and the old one as well, and only had a really small window of opportunity for us to join in May of next year. So instead of our normal Saturday through Wednesday, the pattern is Monday through Friday. So it's going to take all of us a little getting used to when we refer to things like the Monday lunch or the Wednesday closing event. It's all going to be switched around. But if you go onto the website already at ipw.com, we already have the schedule up. So you can take that, post it on your bulletin board so you don't get confused on what day the breakfast will be next year and when the opening event's going to be and closing event. So yeah, it's going to be logistically a little bit different. But while IPW is still a full year away, we wanted to make sure people were able to connect. So love that we're having the virtual breakfast or virtual happy hour, I guess, for some of you over in Europe at the moment. But we want our delegates to stay connected. It's really important that our destinations and our attractions and hotels can communicate with you all and let you know how recovery efforts are going, when things are opening. For instance, Vegas is starting to reopen in 2 days. So hopefully you'll be able to check back on the online marketplace or the online press room and see what's happening with the hotels, what safety measures are in place, and how things start to hopefully return to a sense of normalcy over the next few months. And likewise, for our buyers and the press, you can upload information as well and stay really active. So that launched a full year in advance. Normally we do it a month in advance. And then also hopefully you all received the IPW Daily last Friday, which was a preview. We wanted to go ahead and share. That was an edition that was originally created to be the preview for this year's IPW. And we were able to make some edits to it and make it for a preview for 2021. So we will continue to see what we can do over the next few months to keep folks connected. And then in Washington, D.C., I think most of you do know that U.S. Travel Association, we are an advocacy association, and our efforts are fully focused on recovery right now. We have a lot of research and information on our website at ustravel.org, but we're really working with, again, a lot of you who are on this call who are colleagues of mine in the United States, with the marketing teams. There was just a marketing call yesterday evening to start preparing on what recovery is going to look like and when the appropriate time is to do it. But in the meantime, we're continually doing consumer sentiment. This one on the screen is domestic, but we're also doing some international consumer sentiment reports. But what we're finding in the United States, and I think this is going to be similar to travelers from around the globe, is that they're looking for assurances that it's the right time to travel and that it's as safe as possible for them to be traveling. And we're finding in the U.S. that when the travelers are seeing assurances from more than one authority, say the destination or the government, and so forth, then they're starting to feel better about traveling. And with assurances, 57% of those in the U.S. say they'd be willing to return within 3 months. And before we got on the call, I was sharing with Hans and some of the board members that we're starting to see in some parts of the U.S. a fairly robust recovery. And Florida especially has been seeing solid recovery. Some of our domestic leisure carriers in the U.S. are starting to see bookings strongly outpacing cancellations. So they're starting to turn towards a more profitable model now. Granted, it's still going to take a little bit of time, but some areas of the United States are going to see it return much more rapidly than others. But what we want is we want our industry to be united in guidance. So we've created at U.S. Travel, and Christian, go to the next slide, guidance as we return to travel in the new normal. The idea behind this is that destinations, attractions, hotels can all be aligned. So the experience across the travel ecosystem is similar. You don't want to have a very safe experience getting through the airports and on a plane only to get to a hotel that doesn't have proper guidelines in place, or the hotel's done a wonderful job with getting to the meeting or an attraction without the proper health guidance in place. So this is something that was launched about a month ago. We will continue. We're working with the government. We are also working with infectious disease experts to continue to update this guidance. While it is intended for our U.S. Colleagues, I think this is something that anyone from around the globe should be taking a look at and sharing with their local governments too, so we can all be working with best practices. So with that, we hope that by the time we get around to 2021, that we do have a more sense of normalcy and we're able to welcome you all to a brighter and more robust United States and IPW 2021 in Las Vegas.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. We're all looking forward to it, obviously, because this is always a highlight of the year, and the destination is so special and so varied that that all the information we get there is just absolutely priceless. We're looking forward to next year. So we also, first I thank you, Malcolm, for the update, and now we have a message by Tilo.
Friends and partner, we constantly have you and your companies and destinations in mind. Recovery is our main goal. We already work daily on quotes and bookings for later this and next year 2021. Let's make it as easy and risk-free as possible for the customers who want to book now. Every inspirational support from you is highly welcome. Let us all create the vacation movies and demand now. This will be the success of tomorrow.
Thank you, Tilo. So just to get you a little bit updated, we just have a few facts and figures from Germany. And number one, a few statistics. We don't go too much into it, but we just want to show you that in Germany, the pandemic is, at the moment, doesn't have very many new infections. The curve goes really down. This is a map of Germany with the different counties, and you see it's practically green. We hardly have any new infections in there. There are just a few spots, but one would say we've got pretty much everything under control. From the last numbers of the infected persons that were tested, that was 181,000. About 90% have recovered already. And even though it's terrible to lose people and have people dying, it has been, I think we are at 8,000. So it's a fairly low number, but obviously every life lost is a life too much. We are not totally back to normal, obviously. The situation has changed. We have to wear face masks when we're indoors in the public and on public transportation, but the restaurants, shops and gyms and cinema, etc., they can open, and many of them do. Obviously, there has been a strict implementation of social distancing guidelines, but travel within Germany is possible without restrictions, and also leisure travel is allowed, so people can stay on privately. And we have seen over the last weekend already that some of the destinations at the North Sea and the Baltic Sea have been very, very busy. The impact of the economy worldwide is terrible. Obviously, we know that, but the Germans itself, we are doing quite well. You know, we have a very, very good social security. The health insurance works. We have very good unemployment benefits and job protection here in Germany, and there is a massive and swift government support for companies. One thing that is still lacking a bit and that many people have been fighting for is more support for the travel industry, for the travel agency in Germany, and for the tour operators. But we are very, very positive that this will come soon. We have something which we call Kurzarbeit, as we have German names now, and this is a reduced working hour. And companies can reduce the working hours of the employees up to 100%, meaning that you don't work at all. And the loss of salary is compensated to a major part. This means that the part that is not paid by the company is for 60% covered by the government. And in case if you have family and children, it's for 67%. And some companies even top this up so that the economic impact is as little as possible. Still, the business climate index obviously, has dropped incredibly, but we see that between April and May, it's getting better. We have been from -37 to -26, and this is the same with the consumer climate index, so we are slowly on the way up. And obviously there's optimism now that things are opening up, that also the economy will do better. The impact on travel obviously, we had an official travel warning, but this will end by June 15, and travel within Europe will be opened up by then. A long haul will be decided at a later stage, and the desire to travel is here. We know that everybody is just waiting for it. The summer holidays are coming up. We have another wonderful German word called Wanderlust. That means that the Germans like to wander throughout the world. They would like to explore. Whenever you see a person on a deserted island, it's usually a German, because they just crawl into every nook and cranny in the world and they want to experience, and they travel. And you see that also when the Germans want to travel, many want to travel in the summer already. So obviously it's more domestic in some of the European countries, but fall 2012 and the winter. So everybody is just gearing to get out of Germany, to get out of their house and to get out in the big wide world. The impact on travel, when we see it, the most important part is the preconditions for the travel destinations. The borders have to be open. I mean, obviously, no quarantine. We have some countries when you can travel to, but then you have to be 14 days in quarantine. That doesn't make any sense if you only have a 2-week vacation. The flight offer is very, very important, and what kind of touristic offer is available? Calling, hotels, attractions, rent-a-car, nature. It's the same for musicals or other concerts, etc., etc., etc. The hygiene concepts are important. Crowd avoidance, cancellation policies, the same that's important in your country is the same that's important if you travel to another country. To sum it up, Germany is handling the situation very well so far, considering the circumstances, and Germans are ready to explore the world again. I think that's really what we have to, that's the message that has to get out. And we also have a message from another tour operator, and I think it's their touristic.
Right.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. So virtual seems to be the new reality for now, which we don't like in tourism at all, I think. To all the partners and friends that are struggling with this pandemic out there right now, please stay confident, stay positive, stay strong, so that we can meet up at IPW in person again next year. Because there's one thing for sure, there is no substitute for America, and we will travel again. So all the best to everybody.
That's certainly, that sums it up for me also. You know, there's no better destination, and we just have to get our people to it. We have to be allowed to arrive in the United States. And we've been working very hard. We have been, the Visit USA board in Germany, we have been meeting virtually every week in order to see how we can set up the new VUSA board, how we can cope with the situation. And for this, Christian is just taking over and is telling you everything, what we have done, what we will do, and what we would like from you.
Yeah, thanks, Hans. So as you can probably imagine, we've had some busy months behind us. We've had a great end of 2019. We've done our famous Halloween event. So I'm going to just have a very quick look at that. We had 110 travel agents from all over Germany come to Frankfurt to spend their weekend with us, which is obviously very great because they spent their free time. We had the chance to implement 25 partners that could present at the event with either workshops or plenum presentations. And just to give you an impression of how that looked and how it felt. So it's kind of strange that it's been only half a year ago, but looking back now, you would say, oh, look at this cramped room. How can you possibly have so many people in one room without any hygiene concepts and disinfection towels and everything? But back then, it still was normal. It seems crazy, but we've had a great time. And the great thing about the Halloween event, having a look at the workshops, is that our partners really are very creative. They try to be very interactive. They decorate the rooms, as you can see. And it's not just the standard presentations, but also like here, like in the southern states, you had some tastings and a fortune teller in the background, and really a creative way of doing the presentations. We had the Great Lakes travel market. So it's like every partner really tries to find their own thing and do their own thing. And as you can see in the little details people are putting into that, that's all the decoration of the partners in the room. So it's really a very funny event, but it is hard work. So it's the entire Saturday. It's only presentations and workshops and a lot of training, obviously. But in the end, people have deserved to have a great evening event. And our Halloween party kind of is infamous and renowned, I would say. It takes place in the ballroom of the Hilton. And we're really doing a lot of stuff there. So we do have professional makeup artists that do everyone's makeup, all the participants, all the partners. That's the final result of one of them. People are really putting a lot of work into their costumes. So everyone's coming dressed up. As you can see, in Germany, Halloween is only focused on the scary bit, kind of. So it's no fairy tales and princesses, but it's all the gore and the blood. Actually, she was our best costume that night. She won a prize. She did all of that herself with a lot of glue, and it was kind of heavy, I guess. We do have a decoration agency on site that's decorating the entire ballroom. We've had, that really fits to today's topic. We had a showgirl from Las Vegas that joined us for the night and was there to take photos and help us with the prize draws and everything. And just for your information, I've been the bad and evil wolf that you can see there. So people kind of got confused with my fluffy ears, so they didn't take me serious, I guess. But it's always fun at the Halloween event, and people are really dressing up. We do have show acts like this percussion trio. Some people really stay in their role. So I don't know if he also ate like this, but it's really, people are kind of enthusiastic about the Halloween event. Of course, in the end, there's a party and a lot of dancing going on. We do have a photo booth. Little fun fact with regard to that photo, we still do not know who that guy was because he never for a single second took off his mask. So we're entirely clueless on who was behind that mask. And of course, our partners love the photo booth as well. So Halloween really is a lot of work during the day for the travel agents, but a lot of fun at night. But of course, a Halloween party like this doesn't happen just like that. And just to give you an impression of how much work is done at the ballroom, we just did a little time-lapse video to show you. So enjoy that. So, and just like that, 48 hours are gone. So it really is a lot of work, as you can see, a lot of dancing going on. But in total, it's a great event and also a lot of work, to be honest. In November, back then, we had a media event in Hamburg, and we did it in Hamburg because at the beginning of this year, we had a consumer show in Hamburg where we were partner country, but I'm going to come to that a little later. Just first of all, I want to take a glimpse at the other consumer shows we did at CMT in Stuttgart and Free in Munich. And consumer shows might sound a little boring or outdated, but we can only keep repeating ourselves. They still work in Germany. They're still very popular. If you're having a look at the visitor numbers, CMT just totally broke their record of visitor numbers. So they just had a 15% increase compared to last year, which was a very good result as well. So I think until now, 265,000 were the best result ever. So it was growing enormously. But also in Munich, well, you could see there was a slight drop in visitor numbers, but it was the first really great weekend with warm weather, and already Corona concerns started to grow. So that's probably the reason why there's a slight decrease, but still 130,000 visitors. It's a great number, and in 2019 it was an all-time high. You still have to consider that. We did try something new. We reinvented our booth design, our booth layout. So it was very, very open and welcoming, and we received a lot of positive feedback on that. And of course, we're always trying to implement new stuff and new ideas at the booth. So we're not trying to do the same every year again, but we're trying out new things. And this year it really worked out very well because we had an open design, open layout. People could just come into the booth and walk around and not feel like an outsider just walking around on the outsides, but they could really come into the booth and visit the USA. Well, that's what a CMT Saturday looks like. In fact, it has been the most crowded CMT Saturday I've ever experienced. And I think it was my 10th CMT, and I've never seen a packed show like this before. We do have these inflatable letters that make a very good impression. And also in Munich, the booth was full, it was packed. So the consumer shows went really well in Stuttgart and Munich, but also in Hamburg. We've been partner country of a consumer show for the very first time in Hamburg and had the largest booth we've ever done. So it's like 400 square meters. We managed to get 23 exhibitors on site. And in Hamburg, the show is a little bit smaller with 77,000 visitors. But to be honest, this has been the most successful show we have ever done because of the partner country. So we've seen such a large share of these visitors that it was very busy during the whole show at the booth. We did do a lot of things, a lot of activities in Hamburg, so a lot of extras compared to a normal consumer show. We've been part of the press conference. Again, we implemented this open new concept, but of course on a much larger scale than at the other shows, so people could really come into our booth and talk to our partners and be there and have an open and welcoming USA booth. We created these bags. Sorry, they don't look brand new anymore, but actually I use them every day. So these are my own bags. I use them for shopping. We did have walking acts like Uncle, or in this case, Aunt Sam, the Statue of Liberty, Elvis. So they were walking around all day distributing our flyers and promoting the USA. The gentleman here in the middle, he's actually the Consul General in Munich, in Hamburg, sorry, of the USA. So we had some VIPs there as well to open the booth officially. We did have cheerleaders and a football team that did promotion there. Most of the Americans might not know this lady. She's Gail Tufts. She's in Germany. She's quite popular and quite famous because she's an US-American entertainer, and she talks a lot about the differences in culture of US and Europe. And she's married to a German, and so she can tell a lot of stories from a cultural perspective and the differences. So she did a presentation at our booth, which was attracting a lot of people. We did have the chance to fill the cinema of the show with Brand USA's National Parks Adventure with the IMAX movie. Again, Gail Tufts had a welcome speech there. Again, our Statue of Liberty. She's done an incredible job. We did have free popcorn on site, so as you can see, that was quite popular as well. We had a media event and a trade event going on in the afternoon of one day, and throughout the entire show, as I already said, it was just packed and packed and packed. And I don't think we've ever had so many people at a booth like in Hamburg. Here you can see our presentation area where all the partners could have one presentation per day. And again, we thought, oh, having 30 seats there, that's going to be enough. Pretty surely, not at all. We could have doubled that size, as you can see, and still it wouldn't have been enough. So that worked really well, and just, well, that was the entire team we've had at the booth, so all the partners that were there. And just to give you another kind of feeling of how many people were at the booth, we did another short video. So this truly has been the most crazy show I've ever done. Well, of course, I guess I can't impress Malcolm with IPW, but from our perspective, it was really huge and a very big success. Just to give you some facts and figures, we gave out 3,000 branded popcorn bags, and most of them came back and actually wanted to have popcorn. We had 2,500 luggage tags, 4,000 postcards for prize draw, of which 1,500 were returned when we never expected to see this many participants. We distributed 4,400 of these bags and 3,000 of our travel guides, USA travel guides. And we've been extremely satisfied with how the show went and how it all turned out and worked out. And also the other shows, as I said, they've been really good. So we've never ever had 10,000 of our travel guides distributed at the 3 shows we're doing per year. So it's been by far the most successful year for consumer shows. So yeah, before I continue on how the year went on, I think we got another short little video. Oh, sorry, we don't. We're gonna have the video of FTI coming up later. So I'm sorry. I turned around
You made the presentation, right?
Yeah, I did, but obviously I turned around one time too many.
Okay.
So that was our plan for the rest of the year. So we thought we'd be at ITB in March, the bowling workshops coming up. IPW obviously didn't happen as well. We wanted to do the cinema roadshow, our Halloween event again in October, and the next round of consumer shows, which we were really motivated to do because they've been such a big success. But obviously, things turned out a little different, and ITB was cancelled, bowling workshops cancelled, IPW delayed, and we still honestly don't know how the rest of the year will go, if we're going to be able to do the other events or if we have to find alternatives. So yeah, we pretty much had to start from scratch, had to cancel all of our plans and find other solutions. So let's see if FTI comes. Here's FTI. Okay, before I talk about what else we did after the crisis coming up, we're going to hear from Fabio, FTI.
Hi everyone, this is Fabio with the FTI Group calling from Switzerland. I trust you're doing well. As a gradual lifting of borders has been proposed by the European Union, we're all set to kickstart when travel limitations into the US will be removed. Let's then take off together for the remainder of 2020 and all of 2021. Please do not stop communicate with us in any ways. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon again. All the best and take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you, FTI. So as I said, we had to start from scratch and try to find alternatives and just reinvent our year, so to say. So what we did first was to find out about webinar possibilities, because usually we're doing 1 to 2 webinars per month with different partners, with our members. But we pretty quickly designed a survey, sending out to our own database of travel agents, just trying to find out if they're interested in doing more webinars right now, or if they're too busy thinking of something else, doing cancellations and all of that stuff. And we very clearly found out that there's a very strong desire to educate themselves right now, to be prepared for the times when travel is possible again. So travel agency really wanted to make use of that downtime in a useful way and to find training possibilities. So we switched to a weekly frequency of our webinars, which turned out to be honest, a very good decision, as we can see in a bit. So that's all the webinars we've done so far from June 2017 until today. And that green line would be 100 participants. And having a look at the last weeks, this is where we started to do the weekly frequency, sorry. And as you can see, the average of participants just grow immensely. And in fact, the 2 best results we've ever had with participation numbers have been in these Corona weeks, so to say. So we were very happy with the decision to do weekly webinars at a first step. Finding out that the webinars work so well, we thought of different ways for you to be present in the market and to communicate your training tools and your education tools. So we did a trade newsletter in April, which had the topic of online training possibilities of all our members. And that newsletter, which you can see on the right, has been sent out to over 20,000 travel agents in the whole of Germany. We were able to include the input of 39 members. And in total, we've seen nearly 3,000 clicks on that newsletter. So that performance was really good as well. And we were very happy with how that turned out. And we really hope we could help you with that and that you could see some traffic on your training tools. And then the next thing we did in the beginning of May was our first virtual USA roadshow. In fact, I truly believe we've been the very first ones in Germany of all the other organizations to do a virtual roadshow, which we're kind of proud of. And that virtual roadshow took place in the week where actually our bowling workshops would have been taking place. But so we decided, okay, we're still going to do a roadshow. We're still going to be present in the market, but we're going to be online with webinars. So we had 5 different webinar blocks with 3 partners each. All of these partners had 15 minutes presentation times plus time for question and answer. And we've seen 275 participants in that roadshow throughout all the blocks. So again, we've been very satisfied and happy with these figures and how it worked out. And also the feedback from a partner side and the participant side was very positive. So the average rating of the virtual roadshow was 1.48, with 1 being the best, 6 the worst. This is what German school systems look like. And 100% of all these, of the participants expressed the wish for a second virtual roadshow. So of course, I'm going to come to that later. So we will have a second USA roadshow. But it turned out it was another right decision in that time. So it was the right timing to do it in May. IPW Breakfast, we are here. Would have loved to be in Vegas, but well, things have changed, obviously. And we're making the best of it, as I think is the best plan for every situation at the moment. So yeah, let's do it virtually. Looking forward to having a toast with you in a bit, but still a little more content to come. Not much, I promise. As I said, we're going to have a second virtual USA roadshow in the end of June. Obviously, based on the feedback on the first virtual roadshow, we are going to do the second one, June 29 to July 3. I'm sorry. Again, 5 webinar blocks with 3 partners. We increased presentation time a bit, so it's 20-minute presentation time per partner. And if you're interested in participating, we still got 1 single slot free and available. So if you want to join us, just send me an email and be the first. It's first come, first served. Be the first to send me an email and you're going to be in. It's 100 euros participation cost, and we'll be happy to have you join the virtual roadshow as well. So what's to come after June? To be honest, it's kind of a big question mark because there's so many uncertainty, either with regards to logistics. We don't know if we will be technically able to host events like our cinema roadshow, our Halloween event, our consumer shows next year. We don't even know if there will be consumer shows the way we got used to them in the past, in the beginning of next year. So of course, that's all big question marks we have, and we still have to monitor everything constantly and to find out what is possible. And then again, there are other question marks. In case we won't be able to do the concepts we've done in the past, like our roadshows, will we need entirely new concepts? What are your marketing budgets like in future? Will you be able to join our Halloween event? Because to be honest, it's a rather costly event. It's the most expensive event we're doing per year. And we really have to talk to you, and we need your input on what you can do, what you need, and what you want from our side. Because in the end, Visit USA, we are here to provide opportunities and possibilities for you to be in the market. And we're not a self-serving thing, and we're not doing consumer shows because we like to be at consumer shows so much, because it needs to be the thing that you want us to do. Also, if you have any other ideas that what we should do, please always contact us, let us know. We are always open for any suggestions with that regard. But talking enough about question marks, I really like to have some great statements in the end, to have a positive twist to it. We can promise you that we will still adjust and react quickly to the situation we have, and to be in the current environment, to be present in the market. Also, we're seeing a chance in the current situation to develop new concepts like our virtual roadshow, which we would have never done in normal times, I'm pretty sure. So as I said earlier, it's trying to make the best out of a bad situation and try to find the positive things and find new ideas. And also our future activities, as I said, they're going to be based on your needs and your possibilities, and whatever you can do and whatever you want us to do, we are going to be here and we're going to be in the market to help you out. So I guess that's it from my side. Hans, you're going to be taken over again, right? You're here?
I guess we have, well, 2021. Yes, I hope that I will make it. But it will be, but that's what everybody says, 2021 will be the year of recovery. I think this is where we see the biggest push. But what we see is also there will be a fierce competition for the German traveler among all the worldwide destinations. German travelers are sure travelers. There's the money. They have, they're very well-traveled people, and they will go as soon as they can. There is still many of the older folks, you know, they have a lot of money, they have time, and they can travel. The Visit USA Committee will be the platform to ensure that the US will receive its fair share. And this is what this breakfast, virtual breakfast is like. We just want to ensure you that we will do our best, that we are the best platform out there, you know, for you to get the message over to our customers, maybe the end consumer, but mainly the trade here in Germany. And we need some feedback from you also. You know, tell us if you have ideas that we can use and that we can put into our plan. And now that that we're doing lots of items virtually, on June 25th, we will have we have our members assembly. Normally this is held here in Frankfurt at the Hilton Hotel, but now we do it virtually. So you're more than welcome to participate. We will see what time we will be able to schedule this. Lisa wrote, she said 8 a.m. in the morning. It's at the moment. That's obviously it's difficult, you know, when you have a huge country like the United States, and obviously members from Hawaii have had problems because it's in the middle of the night there. But we will try to include as many people as we can. I think we now, before we have a wrap up, I think we do have another video. Right? Okay. Why don't we have TUI coming up now?
Normally we would sit together right now and receive one of these, you know? Well, I wanted to express my big thank you. Stay safe, stay strong, and in my heart you'll always be there. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gerald, and I'm responsible for the new product management USA and Canada. I'm very excited for this task, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting you soon.
We stand by whenever you are ready.
And as we value our partnership a lot, we know you will do the same.
Thank you very much, TUI, and I think that sums it up. Really, it's we are so looking forward to be able to travel again. We want to come to the United States. Everybody's really very anxious, and we are sure that the German public wants the same. So just to end it on a lighter note, we want to show you something, because the board, you know, that every breakfast we do have a little, you know, we try to do something special for you, especially in the States. And we thought long and hard, and we thought, well, Las Vegas is just, you know, it has such a long history, and it has produced lots of icons, and the board had, you know, come up with ideas, and obviously we can't really prepare it for you. We can show it to you personally, but we wanted to show you some of the pictures already that we prepared for this. And for example, we have Anne Arns, you know, we have Nicola, who was gonna prepare something, you know, from her date with Elvis a few years ago, Viva Las Vegas. Then we had the biggest legend of them all, Liberace Martin, was actually preparing something very special there with a beautiful piano. And then Susanne, showgirl par excellence, she was looking forward to do a little share act for you live in Las Vegas. And then we had Caroline is preparing for 2021, and her Celine Dion act is really something. I mean, the Titanic would have never gone down, you know, when Caroline would have sang this song.
So really looking forward to IPW Breakfast next year, Caroline?
Yes, we should be. She's just a just a showgirl, you know, Diva Las Vegas. That's what I can say. And then the next one, the following content may be of a disturbing nature for you. And I just want to show you that we had to recruit also one of our former GMs, Florian, who's now with Brand. Now, this was actually the final act. It would have been Magic Mike Live as the Visit USA committee. And I have to say, this was the only picture actually where we didn't have the Photoshop. So this would have been the show. I don't know what we come up with for next year, but it's going to be fantastic, I know. And Malcolm, just to wrap it up before, now comes the moment we've been waiting for. So the cameras will be turned off, but I want to thank Malcolm first, you know, to participate here, to be part of the breakfast here, and thank you very much for a little bit more insight. And we're looking forward to next year. Maybe we see you before. I sincerely hope that, and I wish you all the best. I know that you have a tough job as well, and really think about you. Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Malcolm. So right now, I think we're going to do a little experiment. So I'm going to allow all of you to just unmute yourself. So it might be a little hectic and a little loud, but there's no sense in having a toast to each other without hearing the other ones. So you should be able to unmute yourselves right now, so we can all prepare our drinks, and I'm going to make sure we're going to see everyone. All right.
One after another comes. This is just fantastic.
Been waiting for this one.
Drinking time.
Listen, have you prepared so much?
All right.
Las Vegas style.
Cheers, everyone.
Good day, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Thank you for being with us. And honestly, we can't wait to see you, and we can't wait to hug you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. For sure.
Thank you.
This is fun, actually. This is
awesome.
You should do this every day. Overnight.
Wow.
Good to see
But you all look fantastic, I have to say.
Yeah.
We all had some free time in the sun, you know.
Especially on the pictures.
And nobody wants to leave the conference.
I don't have any plans. We can stay here for the rest of the night.
How do you like our how do you like our frame?
Yeah.
Good.
Hi, Lisa. That's fantastic. Hello. You're all doing good, I hope. Hi, Brigitte.
Yes. Hi.
Perfect. Okay.
Empty your glasses. Empty your glasses.
Yeah.
We hope that you can.
Coffee. Hi.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't able to follow the chat, so I don't know if there were any questions coming up. Did anyone follow the chat?
I looked it up. There was no real question.
Okay.
But I think we should. I just saw Marion. Marion.
Yeah. Hello.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, let's sing. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Liebe Brigitte.
Happy birthday
to you.
Thanks,
Marion.
Hi, everybody. Have a wonderful summer, and I hope I talk to you soon during our assembly meeting. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye, you all.
Bye, you all.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.